now we bring you to a story we began telling you about last night.
It's the inspiring tale about a Crozet man chasing gold. And our Andrew Clay is here to tell us a little bit more about Jon Fried.
Yeah, well, Jon was born in 1962, and at the time, it seemed as he already trailed life by a set. But on Friday night, when Los Angeles holds the opening ceremony for this year's Special Olympic World Games, Jon will be attending his fourth, a feat doctors said could never happen. But what they didn't know was that Jon was really up 15 love.
I dream about tennis every day. I'm practicing with my coach, and I'm working out with my trainer.
Tennis is life's great equalizer for Jon Fried.
My husband noticed something didn't seem right in the hospital, that he seemed to be moving peculiarly, not the way other babies. When we took Jonathan to Georgetown University Medical School, where they evaluated Jonathan, and they said, he's never going to walk or talk. You should put him in an institution and don't get pregnant.
Jon is developmentally challenged. He functions in the range similar to that of first to third graders.
People with intellectual disabilities who are just mildly impaired, and they have the worst time because they're the most aware, and a lot of them, I think, resent feeling that they're just not quite there. I think he understands. That's why he likes to say, because I'm smart, because that makes him feel better about himself.
Two!
Jon Fried picked up his first racket when he was 10 years old.
Soccer wasn't my sport, so I decided to play tennis instead.
My husband and I started taking tennis lessons, and his method of teaching was back, take the racket back, step, hit. That's pretty basic. But it was wonderful for Jon. Back, step, hit, he got it.
And he hasn't set it down since.
One of the demonstrations sometimes of the intellectual disability is doing the same thing over again. When he was an infant, he would bang pots and pans forever. But it worked very well hitting against a wall, because he would keep hitting, and he didn't stop.
Jon's passion for the game has taken him to the highest level of competition. He competed in his first Special Olympics World Games in 1995.
I remember just my stomach being in knots the first few games, because he was the consummate gentleman. We'd have to keep telling him, Jon, you can be friends after the match. Play like a tiger.
And in 2007, he won gold.
I was proud of myself.
Tennis is Jon's genius. If you knew how disabled he truly was and you watch him play, it really is the definition of a miracle.
Come out!
Besides his mental limitations, Jon suffers from a degenerative foot condition and has vision problems which leave him without depth perception.
Our eyes can process things together. Our brains can take what we see in our left and right eye and we can make it one image. He sees things through his left and through his right eye separately.
Jon chases his third medal at this year's competition in LA, seeking a return to the top of the podium after earning silver 4 years ago.
Well, I'm not sure that Jon Fried feels any sort of pressure or nervousness at all, but when we were in the stands watching that match, I was probably the most nervous person, maybe besides his mother.
20 years after his first World Games, Jon returns to his fourth competition. He's the first Virginian to do that.
I gotta practice and practice until I get it right.
It's a feat 53 years ago maybe seemed impossible, but maybe not.
What does optimism mean? When somebody tells you something is totally awful and there's nothing you can do about it, your instinct may be just the opposite, to say, yes, I can do something.
Another amazing note about that is Jon is 53 years old. He's playing against guys who are half his age, but despite that, he's still considered a medal favorite this year.
Best of luck to him.
Yeah, certainly.
You know, Andrew, we were talking about motivational speeches before the show. I think that one is number one on the list of motivational speeches.
Maybe you can start watching that before your Spartan race.
I will.